Welcome to this week's edition of Sun News at Noon. I'm Katie Walker.
I'm Keziah Philpott. Thanks for tuning in to our special election episode.
Carson Warner, a student body president candidate from Las Vegas, Nevada, is bringing a unique perspective to the race. Currently studying criminal justice, the candidate is passionate about engagement, belonging, and representation. During Warner's free time, he enjoys snowboarding in the great outdoors. He brings an impressive global perspective, having visited 54 countries and 32 states.
Ian Kelly is a communications student with a focus on applied leadership and a certificate in entrepreneurship, also running for student body president. Originally from Chicago, Illinois, Kelly has big plans for Utah Tech. His platform includes 5 pillars: expanding dining options with food trucks, securing more funding for athletes, ensuring all students have a voice through an open door policy, increasing funding for student clubs to boost representations, and fostering better collaboration between student organizations like Ambassadors and UTSA. Kelly's mission is to leave Utah Tech better than he found it. As a dedicated Utah Tech fan, he even plans to donate his scholarship to invest in the future of all students. For fun, Kelly likes to ski.
Andy Hunter is a biology student from Ridgefield, Washington, and is running for student body president with a vision to create a culture of connection. His mission is for students to feel truly linked to what matters most, whether that's clubs, campus organizations, fellow students, or the greater community. He's also passionate about empowering students to make informed decisions, both educationally and financially. His plan includes bringing in professionals to teach valuable financial skills like saving and investing. Above all, Andy's goal is to unite us here at Utah Tech and make this campus feel like home. For fun, Andy loves rock climbing, is on the ballroom dance team, and is always ready to try new things.
We had the opportunity to speak with all 3 candidates for student body president on Tuesday about why they believe they are the best choice. Stay tuned, and we'll be right back after the break.
Across the country, there are destinations that are calling. We stand proudly above the ranks, a testament to our unwavering commitment to excellence in all that we do. Always embracing the extraordinary. 9 dynamic cities, home to 9 world-class institutions. The Western Athletic Conference. Together, we are one WAC.
On campuses nationwide, the NCAA is making transformative changes for student athletes. While they pursue their biggest dreams, we're launching new initiatives to help them. Life-changing education opportunities are just the start. The NCAA is providing enhanced mental health services. We're guaranteeing scholarships and tuition and expanding access to healthcare. Visit ncaa.org/change to learn more.
Welcome back to Sun News. As a reminder, we are here with our student body president candidates. What inspired you to run for student body president, and how do you plan to represent the diverse needs and interests of our student body?
When I first came here, I didn't know anyone, and I was able to make a connection with a club that I was able to help start and grow to something that I loved. And I want to give students the same opportunity to create their own connections here. I've been able to be a part of multiple different organizations on campus. I've been on UTSA for the last 2 years. I've been a member of the ballroom team leadership, and I've also been a member of the country dancing club leadership as well. And as such, I have broad abilities to meet and get to know and advocate for different students of different backgrounds.
When I came out of here, out of high school, I wasn't the best student, and then when I found Utah Tech, it kind of encouraged me to be involved. And so seeing that, I joined UTSA my second semester as a freshman, and it really changed my life. My grades got better, and everything just kind of clicked for me. Over the past year, I've been part of UTSA for 3 years, and I've saw firsthand how much being involved with the campus can really affect a student positively. And so when this opportunity arose, I saw it and I was like, this is a great way for me to share almost my story, but give students the same opportunities to be involved and to get connected to the campus. Because that's the biggest thing for a growing university like ours, is to have students that are really connected with our campus. And so that's why I decided to run, to share my love for Utah Tech and to help students find their love for Utah Tech.
I decided to run for Utah Tech because I personally have experienced so much growth professionally and personally here at Utah Tech, and I want students to experience the love and the inclusion that this school, I think, has for everybody. One of the things I'm going to be doing if I get elected is I'm going to be donating my scholarship back to the university because I work for the students. I want everyone to feel included, and the main thing that inspired me to run is just wanting to give back, a desire to give back to the university and to really make improvements for the university where students can feel heard and validated and accepted by everybody.
Perfect. Now, what specific goals do you hope to achieve in your first 100 days if you are elected?
So we only serve for 365 days, so the first 100 days are pretty important. I think one of the biggest things is starting with hiring. Like, we get to hire a unique team that gets to reach tons of students across campus. So I want to find the best people for the job. I want to find people that truly care about the students first, and then that are, like I said, the best fit for the job. I want to start working with the different organizations that are on campus and build those connections as soon as I can, so that way I can leverage them so that way we can create meaningful connections with the different organizations on campus, so that we can use those to find the best place for students as they are coming to campus.
Like Andy said, UTSA is such a unique opportunity because all the positions open. So from anywhere from that executive council, these are the only 3 running positions that you can actually, any students open to run with, is that student body president, VP of academics, and then that VP of clubs. And then from the rest, it's kind of up to those 3 elected positions. For me, my #1 importance is culture. Utah Tech is a growing community, and it's a growing college. And so for students to be connected with this college, it's super important. And then that hiring process, making sure we have people that are right for the position for all of the positions. UTSA's main mission is to serve all students at Utah Tech. And so finding those people, making those connections, like Andy was saying, is super important because you really want to build that culture, whether it be for the football games or getting a bill passed for academics.
So for me, one of the things that I'm going to do in my first 100 days is improving scholarships, because I believe that if we improve scholarships, that will ultimately improve culture. For example, if you can combine stack scholarships, if students, for example, are pouring so much of themselves into campus and they're working really hard, for example, someone's on Sun News and they're on an athletic team and they're pouring so much of themselves into campus, we need to incentivize that. We need to make them feel that what they're doing, the amount of work that they're putting into campus is worthwhile and they're getting something out of it. As far as the hiring standpoint, that's not going to be an issue for me because everyone that I'm going to put in UTSA is going to not work for me or UTSA, but they're going to just work for the students. So everybody that I have that I will pick, that I will help to hire on, aren't necessarily going to be people who we've had in the past, but they're going to be people who just have one thing in mind, and that's to make the student's college experience the best it can be. Because to me, it is abundantly clear unequivocally that we need some improvements at the university. I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat that, and I believe in the university enough that I think that these improvements will help change the university in a way that we can improve the culture ultimately.
Awesome. Can you describe a time when you had to navigate a conflict or disagreement and how you handled it? How will that experience inform your leadership style?
One of the conflicts I've had to deal with in the last few years is helping club presidents make purchases that are according to the policies and procedures of the university. As such, they sometimes will come up and they will try to do things that are, like I said, outside of those policies and procedures. And I have to tell them the hard news that you can't do what you want to do. And it is really interesting working with people when people want to make a decision and you want to support them with that decision, but they need to follow certain paths and channels. And so one of my leadership skills is creating a relationship first with someone and then being able to have hard conversations with them. If I didn't first have a good relationship with people, then it would be hard to make the hard calls when I have to.
A conflict that I had was actually with a peer, not a peer, sorry, a coworker. And that's really hard to navigate, just because we're both kind of working for the same goal, but we're not working together for the same goal. So I think that's super important, is to navigate those hard conflicts and those hard conversations. For me, the best solution for it was to find a common ground, realizing that we both aren't on the same level, but finding that we both are going for the same goal. And so putting those differences aside to fulfill that goal is the number one importance for me. But conflict is something that everyone has to deal with, and hard conversations. But for me, the best case scenario is to find your goal and find the mission so you can work on that together.
As far as conflict for me, I've actually founded 2 clubs here on campus, and one of them is a club for people who are neurodiverse. We're called the Club of Diverse Minds. And one of the things that I had to do was there was some disagreement between the people who were running the club, because I had stepped down from president, between the president and the vice president, on how often our club should meet. And they were like, you could definitely see some friction and disagreements, because they were like, one of them was like, well, if we meet every other week, you know, people are going to forget, or if we meet, and the other one was like, well, if we meet every week, it's too much because people are busy with classes and things. So the thing that I did was I mediated it. I sat down and I said, okay, let's figure out a way that we can come to a compromise where we can all win, and therefore the people of our club can win. And so my conflict style, the way I would handle conflicts, is being a mediator. And I could do that also, I could apply that to the elected position of student body president by being able to essentially mediate a positive culture, create a positive culture between the students and UTSA. And if there's any conflict or power differential, I would mediate that.
Why do you believe that you are the best candidate to lead our student body, and what sets you apart from the other candidates?
When we follow values, it gives us a direction to go. And so I make my decisions based off those values and how we should move forward. UTSA has 10 values that we live by, and I want to help the students of UTSA and other students to know what those values are, so that way they can live them, because that helps make all our decisions for the students.
The thing that sets me apart is my passion for UTSA, my passion for Utah Tech. I've been in this program for 3 years. I've gotten the unique opportunity to be the Vice President of Student Life, which oversees all student activities here on campus, from foam dance to chaos to paint and sip night. So I've gotten to work with students firsthand, and I've understand how important it is for student engagement on this campus, because it grows culture. Right now, Utah Tech is in a very interesting time right now. Within the span of 2 weeks, we're going to have a new university president and a new student body president. And I realize we need someone with great passion to lead both of those.
I think the thing that sets me apart is just not just my love for the university, but the autonomy that I want to give back to the students. I believe that if students are, not just students in UTSA, but all students are actively seen making decisions and contributing, that is going to be very helpful. I also mentioned at the beginning how I'm donating my scholarship back to the university. I haven't decided where I'm going to do it with it yet, but it's going to be to benefit the students. It's going to go back to the students somehow. I have to make a decision on that soon, and I'm not running for me. I'm specifically running for the students, because I really just want to give back to them and give them the best experiences I've had here and the opportunities I've been afforded. But all the hardships I've had here, everything that I've had to do, how hard I've had to work, I don't necessarily want the same for those students. I want them to be able to come here, feel accepted, feel involved, feel engaged, feel heard, feel validated, and I want them to be able to have the best experience here that they can.
Since diversity, equity, and inclusion policies are being removed from schools, how will you ensure that all students continue to feel valued and included during this transition?
DEI is a huge issue right now. Part of DEI is students that are coming from, like you said, diverse backgrounds. And I think every student, whether from a diverse background or not, they have one of two needs. They need to find a place to belong, and I think most of us agree that most students have financial need as well. I really want to help students connect, that they feel connected to the campus, to their, to other students, to their people in their major, to their professors, to an organization or a club on campus, because that helps them feel like they belong and it gives them a reason to be here. And then second, I want to help create financial stability, help people be empowered to make financial decisions for themselves by bringing in speakers that can help people with knowing how to save money. We have a lot of resources on campus, and I really want to help empower students and connect students to those resources.
Yeah, I believe last year House Bill 261 really shook all of Utah, and so it's super important that us as UTSA found a way to make students feel belonged. In that way, we've implemented an increase in clubs, just because student leadership may not be for everyone, but clubs, they can be. For me, using clubs is a great way for students to find a home on campus. Andy's a club rep, so he's got to deal with this firsthand, so it's super awesome. As well as I'm part of Student Fee Advisory Board this year, which evaluates the student needs for people. And so for us, the needs are finding home and connection among all Utah Tech students. And so that's where that's where I get to come in, is to evaluate certain needs that our student fees are going, to make sure they evaluate for all students and finding their home on campus.
So I actually have a background of being in MISA, which is the Multicultural Inclusion Student Association here on campus. And when I heard the news that we were disbanded, I was absolutely devastated, because so many students relied on it to feel heard, to feel validated, and it was a safe space for different student groups. And so as your president, I will ensure that I continue an open door policy, and I will also continue the ideals that MISA had. I would continue the spirit of MISA, so even though MISA is no longer here, I would continue its values, because I can't speak for UTSA values, but I can speak for MISA values, and MISA values are simple. It's just helping people feel included, getting people in specific groups where they feel that they belong, and equal representation amongst all. House Bill 261 was devastating. It devastated a lot of people. And I will work tirelessly to ensure that campus is a place where everyone has a strong sense of belonging, and that we're all a happy Utah Tech family.
Yes, and lastly, there could be upwards of $60.5 million in budget cuts due to the controversial Higher Education Strategic Investment Bill, or HB 265. As a student body president, how will you ensure students' needs are met?
So first, HB 265 is a reallocation of our funds. And so it'll take about 10, I think it's 10%, it's about $2.1 million from where the university currently has, and it would move it to a reinvestment fund. So it'll come back to the students eventually, but right now is what's important though. So right now, a lot of programs that are a little smaller are at risk. And I know that that's a worry for a lot of students. I want to create a space, kind of like what Ian was saying, of creating an open door policy, so that way any student can come in with any concern, and that we can help them with those concerns, whether that's finding the classes that's best for them, finding an advisor or a trusted individual on campus that they can feel connected to, and that way they have a place here on campus.
Finance for college students is the #1 priority, especially for everyone. I kind of talked about my experiences on Student Fee Advisory Board. So you, if elected, and your executive team deal with all of student fees across Utah Tech. And I want to evaluate I want to emphasize how important that is and how much of a duty that is to create in that Student Fee Advisory Board. You're dealing with people's salaries. USHE has actually said that you have to match your student fee increase to the tuition increase. And so that is just basically, you don't want to overcharge the students, and you want to make sure that everything is used for the benefit of the students. So what that means is cutting some certain, cutting some certain funds that we don't think allocates to all the students. And so as student body president, it's important to, like Andy was saying, have those open door policies and making sure that students feel like they are connected with your campus, as well as emphasizing the importance of Student Fee Advisory Board and making sure that every student is allocated for.
I think this is sort of a twofold issue. I think there needs to be increased transparency on the Student Fee Board and the students, so students can know directly where that money is going. I think having specific initiatives in place of where that money can go will be really beneficial. One of the things that I want to do, and again, it's a little bit sidetracked from the question, but I'm going to go back to it, is I'm going to be implementing food trucks on campus every Wednesday, Eat Well Wednesdays. And with this lack of money, or appears to be, you're probably thinking, well, how am I going to do that? Well, it's simple. I'm going to do that. I'm going to work with the university president. I'm going to work with different kinds of people so we can reallocate funding for things that will go directly to the students and therefore benefit the students. I've interviewed a lot of students, and it's clear that one of the things that needs improvement is increased dining options. So I want to do that, and I'm going to make sure of that. And that is, I actually forgot to mention that earlier, but my first 100 days, that is something that I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be meeting with different vendors and businesses and meeting with dining services and figuring out a way to get food trucks on campus. As for the question with that money, I think it's simple. I think we need to lean on our donors more. I think we need to be able to make sure we're reallocating funding, but also not just doing it, not just making the decisions ourselves, people up top. We need to be communicating that directly to the students of what we're going to be doing and why we're doing it. And we need to be, the students' interests need to be at the forefront of our mind 100%.
Is there anything else that you would like to share with us, with the people tuning in to the show?
I'm the biggest Utah Tech fan ever, and I really love this university, and I believe that there's an old quote, don't listen to what people say, watch what they do. And if you elect me, these are the things I'm going to do. You know, I don't work for administration, I don't work for anybody else. I want it abundantly clear that I work for the people that elect me. So I work for the students, that's all.
I'd like to say culture is number one, in my opinion. Building a Utah Tech culture is important, but for that is to get students involved. And the best way for students to get involved right now is to vote on Monday. That's a way for students to get their voice out. So with both my candidates here, like, I just encourage that they are encouraging students to vote. Whatever happens, it's awesome, but that's just getting student voices out there. I'm super passionate about Utah Tech and the organization that I've been brought up upon, and I would argue I'm a little bit bigger fan of Utah Tech than Ian Kelly over here.
I'm sure we're all equally love this campus. We're all still here. We all want the best for it. I know, like Warner said, that we can all vote and express our interest, and we can actually make a difference with this. And really do come and vote. We will all be out helping you guys come to vote, so please come. We'd really appreciate hearing your guys' voice, because this is first for you.
Awesome. Thanks so much for coming out today, guys. So voting will be opening up at 1 a.m. on Monday and closing at 5 p.m. on Wednesday. And we'll be right back after the break.
Across the country, there are destinations that are calling. We stand proudly above the ranks, a testament to our unwavering commitment to excellence in all that we do. Always embracing the extraordinary. 9 dynamic cities, home to 9 world-class institutions. The Western Athletic Conference. Together, we are one WAC.
On campuses nationwide, the NCAA is making transformative changes for student athletes. While they pursue their biggest dreams, we're launching new initiatives to help them. Life-changing education opportunities are just the start. The NCAA is providing enhanced mental health services. We're guaranteeing scholarships and tuition and expanding access to healthcare. Visit ncaa.org/change to learn more.
Last night, Utah Tech University revealed Shane B. Smead as the 19th president of the university. The announcement was made after a half-hour delay, though reasons for the delay remain unclear. A Utah native, Smead brings over 25 years of experience in higher education and has been serving as the president of Park University since 2020.
The Utah Board of Higher Education has named Shane Smead as the next president of Utah Tech University. He was chosen from a competitive pool of candidates after a public forum and rigorous selection process. During his introduction, Smead expressed excitement about Utah Tech's momentum, vowing to lead with integrity and a commitment to student success. Smead now steps in to guide Utah Tech into the future.
We cannot wait to help bring them to this community and be part of this great place. You have my commitment as president of this university, the 19th president of this university, to make sure that I will hold every single day with great honor.
It is so exciting that Utah Tech has the opportunity to not only welcome in a new university president, but a new student body president as well.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing this new leadership in Utah Tech. And just as a reminder, student body voting opens on Monday and ends on Wednesday.
And that's it for this week's special election episode. Thanks for tuning in.
We will see you here after spring break.
Have a great break, Trailblazers.